Hi everybody, Adam here. So I wanted to talk today about the topic of why I wear tank tops. I wear tank tops so often, I wear tank tops in basically all of my videos, and I also want to reveal that I have basically been wearing tank tops the entire pandemic, and even beyond that really. But the pandemic really kind of accelerated a shift in my behavior that had already been happening at the time. And you might say to yourself, hey Adam, I saw some of your older videos. I saw how you used to wear t-shirts and sweaters and things like that. That's a lie. Basically, I was tossing on something over my tank top for, looking nice on camera. I do that whenever I have Zoom calls and things like that. But my pretty much natural state is to be wearing a tank top at all times, except maybe in the winter when it gets a little colder and maybe I am wearing a sweater around. But I wanted to talk a little bit about how this has been such a positive experience for me and just what led to this in the first place. As always, do not forget to first smash the like button so you can help level up the channel. And of course, every time you smash the like button, it sends one Himbo a free tank top just like this one so that they too can enjoy the wonderful flowing feeling of wearing a tank top around all day long. As always, also, don't forget if you're ever interested in coaching, I am generally taking on new clients and you can reach out via the coaching link below and I will be back in touch with you. So when did this shift happen? So essentially I have been working from home full-time since 2016, so it is going on 5 years now that I have been somebody who has worked exclusively from home. I'm very much not a coffee shop type person. I see a lot of those folks who do like the lifestyle blogs and the 4-hour work week, traveler sort of thing, and they get to show off how they like to work on their laptop in a public space and so on. But I've never really been that person. I've never really enjoyed it that much. I just really appreciate sitting at home in front of my desktop, having some cheap coffee that I have made myself, and just focusing on my work in peace and quiet. However, even since then, I have tried to maintain basically a pretty good routine so that I can make sure that I'm not sinking too far into just letting my habits go entirely. Admittedly, there was one phase when I lived in Denmark where essentially I just didn't have a lot of stuff to do during the day. I didn't have a lot of things required of me on a daily basis, aside from my work, which I could do at almost any time. And so as a result, I did end up getting to a place where I would stay up until often 3 in the morning, wake up at around 10 or 11, and then, just work from there. So ultimately, I did get over that. Of course, now I am a pretty strict schedule. I sleep from about midnight to about 8 a.m., 8:30. Usually I'm almost always up by 9 or so. The big shift really happened in 2020 thanks to the pandemic. So the big change there, of course, was not just that I was working from home, but also that I was not going out to the gym every single day. I had to make that big shift where I was getting used to working out from home as well as working from home. And so as a result, that meant that I basically didn't really have to leave the house unless I wanted to, for example, to go for a walk or, to pick up groceries that I had to pick up or whatever the case is. So since the gym was, generally the main reason that I had to go out, I would often, have to, put on a jacket as well. I'd go to the gym, I'd get sweaty, sweat through my clothes a bit. Come home, definitely want to change my clothes, of course, because I've gotten them sweaty. And of course, I don't want to go back to the gym every single day wearing the same clothes over and over again, get progressively grosser smelling, and simply, everyone would laugh at me. One benefit of working out from home, though, is that now I don't have to worry about getting so sweaty, in fact, because basically I can do things like set very careful rest timers, take longer between sets, not have to sweat as much by pushing things really fast, trying to get through stuff very quickly. And as a result, I don't sweat as much, wearing tank tops, plenty of airflow means I, of course, do not sweat as much either. And the end result is that very often I could wear the same shirt for a few days in a row without really getting it stinky, without really causing any problems. And I just love tank tops. I have a ton of them. They're easy to wear, they're easy to clean, they are just very nice. It also helps that, basically I've got a lot of hair, so I'm constantly doing things like putting my hair up into a bun and so on. And the fact that I've got a nice wide neck means that I can, put on clothes, take off clothes, and not mess up my hair too much. I have plenty of armpit space to breathe a bit more. I just have to be careful, of course, about applying deodorant so that I don't get too stinky, so that I don't sweat through my clothes. And now that there's no reason to change anymore, I just have plenty of clothes, shirts in my drawers that I basically haven't touched in years, that I basically don't use anymore at all. And I don't know why I keep them sometimes. I really do, I really could just give away a lot of my clothes to charity these days. When it gets cold, of course, I'll throw on a sweater, I'll throw on a hoodie, something like that over top of this. Obviously, I'll still sweat through those periodically, so I have to keep washing them, but that is what it is. Whenever I have a meeting, usually I'll throw on a nice shirt over this, whatever the case is, depending on just how formal of a meeting it is. And again, that just lasts for the duration of the meeting, and then I take it off and, I go back to sitting around in a tank top. In fact, the only real problem that I have as a result of my newfound love of wearing tank tops all the time is simply that I am wearing them so much that they are getting worn through. So my cats love to climb up on me and, claw at me a little bit, and as a result, I'm getting lots of tiny little claw marks. I'm getting stains, I'm getting things like that simply because I have been wearing these shirts a lot more and they are starting to show it as a result. In retrospect, I don't know why I didn't do something like this sooner. I mean, realistically, I know about the whole minimalism approach. This wasn't even really like a minimalism approach. It wasn't like I was actively trying to declutter my closet or anything like that. I still have a lot of the old clothes. I still have, of course, all my nice shirts and things like that for whenever I'm going out to a restaurant or something. But, of course, I am just dressed like this most of the time. I'm wearing shorts, I'm wearing tank tops, and that works out well for most cases for like most of the year. It's also something where just because of the way that my working out has shifted, I'm working out, generally longer periods of time, but it's more spread out throughout the day. I'm kind of, working a little bit, working out a little bit, working a little bit, and so on. And of course, the end result is that it is just more convenient to have, sort of a more flexible, sort of outfit, as opposed to, okay, I've got, a decently nice shirt on, and then I have got to, get changed so that I can work out for a while, and then I've got to get changed back. It's just multi-purpose. It enables me to do all the things that I need to be able to do in my day, and that's really all there is to it. Of course, just be careful to apply your deodorant. Just be careful to make sure that you've got a fan or some ventilation or whatever so that you're not getting smelly, sweating a ton. And of course, apply sunscreen. Exposed skin, make sure you're applying sunscreen even if you're just sitting in front of a window like I am. Goes a long way towards protecting your skin in the long run. So that is it for today's video. Hope you liked this little slice of, a different perspective on clothing, I guess, I've never really been a huge like fashion, clothing kind of person. I, really just gravitated towards finding a few outfits that were kind of comfortable and looked good. And even despite all that, I think I accumulated a lot of clothing over the past few years that I really don't need, that I don't use very often. And, it's been a realization to realize that, I don't have to use all that stuff. I can just focus on the stuff that I feel good in, the stuff that works well for me and my schedule, and just go from there. No shame. So, as always, if you want to support the channel, again, don't hesitate to reach out via the coaching link below if you're interested in coaching, and I will see you all next week. Have a good one.